Good evening, foolish mortals. Good evening, foolish mortal. Oh, sorry about that spooky echo, but the house is haunted. And we are here for some Lego tonight, actually. Because what else do we do on this channel these days, really? Yeah. But I do have a music program planned for. It was going to be tomorrow, but I'm moving it to next week. We still got another week and a half of spooky season, so the music program will be next week. Tonight we're building the Lego Haunted House. Let's go to the camera. Because this box is so big, I had to do some. I had to prop it up so you could see the box properly. So there's another box behind here that I will try not to reveal because it's for a future stream. But yeah, the box didn't look right sitting flat on the table and stood up. It was over the top of the camera frame, so it's a bigger box than it needs to be for the piece count. But this is the new Lego Haunted House that just came out. It's a Creator 3-in-1, which means there's 3 different build options for it. We've done 3-in-1s on the channel before, but I've only ever done when I've done the Creator 3-in-1s in physical Lego, I've only ever done the primary build. We've had a few streams back before I started the physical Lego collection. When I was doing computer Lego, we did a few streams where we did the 3-in-1 with all the alternate builds. But for the physical Lego, where I only have 1 copy of the set, I've mainly been doing the primary build, which is the case tonight. I'm going to go ahead and carefully remove this other box so as not to spoil it. And now we can talk about the haunted house as it is. So this is a Creator 3-in-1. Many longtime Lego fans who have been around for many years see it as an unofficial tribute to the Monster Fighters line that came out, I think, it was somewhere between 2010 and 2015 that the Monster Fighters line came out. It only had a single wave, but the 2 biggest sets were the Vampire Castle and a much larger haunted house. And a lot of Lego fans believe this to be kind of an unofficial tribute to the Monster Fighters line. So, as you can see from the box, it's a Creator 3-in-1. And yeah, sorry for the glare. The glare doesn't usually hit Lego pieces, but it often hits the boxes. So, you can see the main haunted house here. That's what we're building. And you can also see, if I can get it up to the camera, the 2 alternate builds here. You can do a ghost train with station, or you can do a haunted ghost ship. Both of those look really cool. I've seen both of those builds in a review. I might get the pieces loose to build those because they look cool, but probably not till next year. Maybe that'll be what I do next year. Since I have the instructions for them now, maybe I'll pull out just the pieces I need for the side builds, and that'll be our Halloween stream next year. On the back, you can see more detailed pictures of all 3 of the builds. Obviously the train up here and the ship. We're not going to worry about those tonight. We're not doing that. And you can see here the house, and you can see from the inset picture there's 2 display options. You can either open it up in a wide facade and have interior in the back, which is how most Lego buildings are, or you can actually close it up and fully enclose it, and then it becomes like a tiny little house. It looks bigger and more impressive open, but you lose the back side. But if you're just displaying it, you display it this side open. If you close it up, it's better for putting as part of a Lego city or something. But anyways, here's the front again. This is one of those boxes that's so big they have tape instead of push tabs. Let me get out my tools so I can get into this. Oh, and while I was setting up the camera, I forgot to preset my instructions. So when the time comes. If the instructions are slightly out of place, we'll take a moment to fix them. The tape is cut, and I'll be able to get into the box now. And as has become standard practice for big boxes, I'm going to dump everything onto the bed behind me and sort it out there rather than on the table. I have space to spread out a bit. I might as well use it. So we do have this big, huge paper packet here, which I believe is our instructions. Creator 3-in-1s generally don't have stickers. But I did once do a Creator 3-in-1 that did have a single sticker. So it was a little tiny sticker sheet with a single sticker. Yeah, let's see. Bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 6. Oh, there's bag 5, okay. No specialty parts baggies with this one, so I'm just going to stack these here behind me. We'll take bag 1 onto the table and open it up. And you can see here we do get a brick separator. So bag 1 is ready to go. Let's open our paper packet first. Creator 3-in-1s usually don't have specialty pieces. Oh, I almost forgot. We're not going to be building this haunted house quite yet, and I'm just going to set bag 1 aside because I forgot we have something special to do first. But here you can see we have the instruction books for the train and the ship. Obviously, we won't be using those two. And then we also have the main instruction book for the house, which is much thicker than those two. So we'll be here for a little while tonight. Let me set the instructions aside. And before we get into bag 1, I want to show you this little packet. In Lego stores, when you go to Lego stores in person, they have a Build-a-Minifigure station. And you can build, basically you build 3 minifigures, which you buy using the custom parts that are in the minifigure station. Some of the larger Lego stores also have a special computer where you can design a torso piece and have that printed like with a logo or something. So you can actually, in some of the bigger Lego stores, create truly unique one-of-a-kind minifigures. But pretty much all the Lego stores have the regular Build-A-Minifigure station with an assortment of different parts, and sometimes they put limited edition pieces in. And right now they have these limited edition Day of the Dead parts in there. So we have here to build 2 Day of the Dead characters. Day of the Dead, of course, being the Spanish Halloween that's celebrated November 1st and 2nd, immediately following Halloween. Day of the Dead has become a big part of pop culture, having been featured in Pixar's Coco, amongst other things. So I'm going to go ahead and take these minifigure parts out, and we will piece them together. And they both... I just dropped one of the skulls. Hold on. It didn't go far. I heard it fall. There it is. So, there's a little guitar. There's a printed guitar. And I got 2 copies of the guitar, one for each of them. So this will be like a... skeletal man and lady playing their guitars together. Let's kind of a little mariachi vibe going on with these 2, I would say. Let's go ahead and put the man together first. Day of the Dead is so colorful. You have all the skeletons, but there's all sorts of black and gold and colors that are used to decorate them all. And you build a shrine to your dead relatives, if you celebrate. It's a really cool. Day of the Dead is a really cool cultural thing. So here's the man. Let's give him his guitar. Let's see, I hold the guitar that way. So, yeah, well, we're not going to pose the guitar or anything. We're just going to have him hold it because he's not actively playing right now. Obviously, there's no music right now, so he's not actively playing. He can hold the guitar. I don't know if I'll be able to sit him holding the guitar, though, with his hat in the way. But there's the man holding his guitar. Pretty cool look there. I do like some of the Day of the Dead cultural art that they do. Maybe if I shift the guitar that way. No, the hat is still in the way. And I can't move his hand anymore. I'm trying to figure out how to seat him down, but maybe he'll stand using the guitar as a third leg. That might work. The lady can't sit anyway. She doesn't have the standard leg piece. She has the sloped dress piece that a lot of lady figures have. So let's put the dress together, and let's get the Day of the Dead lady. And she also gets the little flower in her hair, assuming I picked the correct one. I did not. Oh, shoot. Okay. Give me one moment, because I picked a flower that's too big for her hair. Let me go see if I have one of the smaller flowers. I'm not going to take a lot of time on this because I didn't plan this out through before. But I'm trying to see if she has any of the hair, if I have any spares of the hair accessory flowers. I do. I have a hair accessory flower. It's in pink, which I think will contrast nicely with the Day of the Dead colors. Let's see here. Let's finish getting our lady together. Alright, where's the hole? So there's our Day of the Dead lady. And we will give her a guitar as well. Actually, for the man, let's put his guitar in the other hand, so that they can have the guitars on the outside. And maybe we can make it look like they're standing together, as long as we put the guitars on the outside. So the man will hold the guitar in his left hand, and the lady will hold her guitar in the right hand. And then the guitars will function as a third leg to help the man stand up. And then the lady already has the dress piece, which is a wider base than the standard leg piece. So she should have her balance to stand up anyway. So here's our Day of the Dead couple, ready to play on their guitars and have some fun. Have a spooky time with their spooky friends and sing, play music, and dance, and have a lot of spooky fun. But now that they're ready, it's time to get on with the set proper. So let's come over here to bag one. Oh, I just knocked his hat off. Hold on. So let's come to bag one. And before I get into bag one, let's pull up the instructions. Let's pull up. Okay, it mostly came up correctly placed. Let's give it a slight adjustment. Alright, yeah, I think we're good to go. Alright, let's come back here and let's begin. So that's the brick separator instruction page. And here it says to open bag one and build our first two figures. So the haunted house actually comes with 5 total figures. We get a ghost, a skeleton, a werewolf, a Frankenstein's monster, and a vampire lady. So we start off here. It shows us starting this build by starting with the skeleton and the werewolf. It looks like the skeleton's accessory is going to be a lantern, and the werewolf's accessory is going to be a bone. And at the end of the stream, I'll show you something that I built off stream that's relevant as well. Oh, it shows to put the arms don't, the hands don't face the same way. It says to put this one on this side and this one on this side. Something to do with accessories not looking right or something like that. That's why they have 2 different arms with the hands pointing a different way on skeletons now. Battle droids do that too. Alright, here's our little skeleton friend. Very standard Lego skeleton there. You've seen them before, you'll see them again. And he needs to get a lantern. And there he is, ready to go. And these regular figures, they can probably sit like we normally do. The Day of the Dead guys, they'll have to stand because of the guitars. And the lady can't sit anyway because of the dress piece. Alright, let's do the werewolf now. This is, I think, my 3rd Lego werewolf in my collection. There's a Spider-Man werewolf in the latest CMF series. Oh, I forgot to set the separator into its little position to the side. Now this werewolf has a specially molded head, the kind that you can't turn because it sits right against the neck. It's fixed on the neck and can't turn, so you can't really pose this werewolf too much. But there he is. He's holding his bone. And actually, we can pose the bone. Maybe everyone has an accessory today that they can stand with. Because the bone can be like a 3rd leg for him. And the lantern can be like a third leg for the skeleton, like this. We're off to a good start with the figures. So it looks like this bag is going to be the side builds, which is a haunted tree and the gate. And then bag 2 is where we're going to start building the actual house. So the Halloween party that I go to every year was apparently canceled this year. So I'm looking for other Halloween plans. Um, I already bought an outfit, so not doing Halloween this year is not an option. But that has nothing to do with stream, so let's focus right now on our builds. Tonight's Lego night, and tomorrow I'll figure out what to do for Halloween. Ooh, spooky. So the tree has eyes and a face. This really is a haunted tree. And if the tree is a haunted ghost tree, wow. All right. That does have some implications for the house, but or the history of the house maybe. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, spooky ghost trees are kind of one of the Halloween cliches. But having an actual face on the tree is like so next level. Now, a lot of these pieces are in dark color right now, so I'm trying to focus on the instructions because it's a little bit hard to see what I'm doing here. But it's not like the old instructions that we were looking at last week where they scanned at poor resolution. These are actually a pretty good scan. It's just that they're in dark color, so it's a little hard to see what the instructions are doing in places. But a lot of the house is in a green color, so parts of the house should be easier to read the instructions for. Okay, I've just placed a whole bunch of Lego orders to take advantage of double VIP point week. Um, the Black Friday release, which hasn't been revealed yet, but which has been leaked, Um, I really want that set, and so I want to get a nice big discount on it. So that's why I'm stocking up now. As for new purchases, I am gonna have to cut myself off pretty soon because um, I'm out of space for my build queue now. But so I probably won't buy anything new for most of the next month once VIP points end on Monday. Okay. All right. Wow. So the tree is coming together well. Wow. That is not a strong connection there. That might be a poor choice on part of the designers. That connection is not secure. So here's our little haunted ghost tree. And now we will work on the gate. Since it's kind of a cliche with haunted houses that they all have a gate set in front of the entryway. Lego actually has a long history with haunted houses. They, in addition to the big haunted house from Monster Fighters, they've also done a couple other variants on haunted houses. They've done a miniature version of the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. And there was even a King Boo haunted house. Actually, two takes on haunted houses in the Super Mario line. Both the Luigi's Mansion, um, in which a haunted house was split into three different sets that complemented each other. And then there was also a there was also another standalone haunted house set that they did. So Lego is no stranger to haunted houses, and I'm sure there's others they've done. And they actually did two this year because shortly after this one came out, they also released Morticia's House from the Adams. That's Wednesday's, Mom. These gate pieces they do in front of haunted houses, they go together pretty quickly. We're almost done with bag one. Wait, that doesn't. Hold on. Let me check the picture. No. You know, I'm taking artistic liberties with the way the instructions are. I want these stones on the gate to be symmetrical. It's my Lego. I can do it the way I want. Lego was designed to be a toy to promote creativity anyway. And most of the Lego we do is like following instructions that other people came up with. One of these days, we got to go into studio and play around and create our own custom creations. I've been talking about doing that for a few years now, but I haven't gotten to it. Maybe that's something we should look at for 2026. Because I have a couple custom build ideas that have been floating around in my head for a couple years. Then we get a little chain piece and a little lock tile on the chain piece. Oh, that's cool. So we get this little lock on the gate. Okay, so that's the gate's got a cool play feature going on. We also get this little bit of greenage here in the corner. So here's our build for the gate. And here's the little haunted tree one more time. Now the gate's got a cool feature. You can open it and hold on. Because that wasn't supposed to happen just like that. So you can open the gate and it opens either way. And then you can close the gate and then you can take this little lock piece and pull it aside to the other side of the gate like this, and doing that will lock the gate so that it can't be opened like that. You can still... Alright, what you need to do is you need to take the chain all the way across the gate like this. And when you lock it up like this, you can't open the gate because it's got the chain lock on it. We'll set that over here with the tree. We'll get all the little spare bits out of here and get ready for bag 2. So bag 2 is going to give us the Frankenstein monster. That thing just flew out of my hands. It's, I don't know why my fingers keep doing that, but a piece definitely fell. Let me see if I can identify it. Yeah, I see Lego on the floor. And as you can see, this parts pile contains our first hint of the green color that'll make up most of the mansion. But first, Frankenstein's monster. He doesn't have any accessories, it looks like. But what he does have is this molded upper half of his head. So he has a standard minifigure head with a molded monster head forehead on top. There's Frankenstein's monster. We'll let him sit because he doesn't have any accessories to prop him up. And since we're going to be building the house now, let's just get these two little side builds out of the out of the out of the way for a little while. And let's begin working on the house itself. So it looks like, based on the shape, I'm not going to make guesses. We'll see what part of the house this is shortly as we put it together. Okay. Not sure what the transparent bricks are for, these trans clear bricks, but I guess we'll find out soon. But yeah. Lego isn't just a hobby. It's a religion. It's a way of life. Let's see, this goes here. Sorry, I seem to have temporarily run out of stuff to talk about. You know what? Those clear pieces, those clear bricks, we're covering them up. They may be part of, since they seem to just be structural bits in this build. They're probably part of one of the alternate builds. This is a 3-in-1. I forgot to even consider that because we're just doing the one build tonight. But it is a thing they do sometimes where uh, parts that are for one of the builds get hidden as internal structural pieces in another build. That happens a lot in Creator 3-in-1. Okay, where's that piece? I'm not seeing any more pieces of the color that's being indicated here. Did this piece go under too? Well, it's a surface piece, or it's a piece that's not going to be covered up, so let's just keep going, and if the piece turns up hiding under something, I'll just slot it in. And if not, then I'll look for it on the floor during break. Because I don't want to waste too much time if it's not a piece that's going to have other things stacked on top of it, which that one won't, so. So we just put our first couple pieces of green onto the wall of this first section of this house. Okay, that goes there. Shoot, hold on a second. I totally forgot something. Excuse me a moment. I have an email to respond to real quick. This is kind of urgent. It's about something that might be going on tomorrow during the day. Let me just poke this out real quick and then we'll be back to the house. I'm not doing a full break for this because this will just take a moment and we have an active parts pile in front of us. Okay. Alright, we're good to continue. Sorry about that. And I did find the piece. It was hiding under stuff. So let me just pop that in there real quick. And we will go on. Sorry about that little interruption there. That was about something that might be going on tomorrow, so I had to take care of that. And if I get another response on that, then of course I'll be taking care of it again, so. But for now, let's just keep on building. So we have our first bit of windows going on now. So yeah, the music stream is moved to next week. Um, I'm just not sure exactly when next week. I needed a little more rehearsal time anyway. No way it would have been ready for tomorrow, even though I tried. We might do another stream tomorrow. If I do a Lego stream, it's not going to be a Halloween themed stream, obviously. But we'll see. We'll see what I want to do tomorrow. We may not stream tomorrow. I may just do another rehearsal for the music stream and do some of the behind the scenes tech setup and leave it at that. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. Don't expect a stream, but there might be one, depending on how I feel after I get some other projects worked on. Oh, a boarded up window. That's a cool touch there. Oh, actually, it's printed. The board is printed. Look at that. Obviously, the camera's not going to focus. I think the other camera is dead. I've been having I haven't been able to get it fixed, but I keep trying. So I'll probably make a call on the other camera soon because it's getting frustrating not being able to get it to go. It was working fine before it suddenly stopped, so I don't know what's going on with it. And I don't know why this camera's good, except for the fact that it won't focus on the little bits when I try and do close-ups. And I don't know why it's not focusing. Because this camera has focused on other things in the past, just not little things like that. So, but I've done other projects with this camera that have involved showing off things, and those have focused. So I'm not sure what the issue is here. I'll have to do some more playing around with it, obviously. So it looks like this is the first little section of the house here. You know, I see the hinge piece here. This might be one of the sections that closes up around then, because this hinge is just loose and not really connected to anything. And it doesn't look... Okay, so now we're doing some interior detail here. So this is going to be one of the rooms. It looks like we're making a desk of some sort. Actually, you know what this is? This is a hat holder. For some reason, whoever owns this haunted house is collecting hats. We have what looks like a chauffeur or police hat on one side and a sailor's hat on the other side. If I can get the hat to go onto its little base there. So that's our little desk with two hats, and that will go inside the house. Ah, crud. Spam bot. Spam bot has been banned. I've been getting them every stream recently. I get a lot of spam bots for some reason, but where are the actual chatters? I do like these textured bricks that they're using to make the walls here. Okay. So yeah, we're almost done with bag 2. So this step represents some shaping here for this bit of the house. Um, I do like these shaping bits because it means the house isn't just a boring standard cube. Um, it's cool when houses can have cool shapes done. Gives a little more visual interest than just being flat cubes like so many houses are. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay. Sorry about that. I got confused for a moment. Alright, that secures the window in place. And now let's finish up the shaping up here. And that will be the conclusion of bag 2. And it shows we're supposed to attach the ghost tree in front of this little bit of the house. So this is what this wing of the house looks like. The first little section of the house here. The table with the hats inside. And here's the window we just put together. And it shows the tree being attached in front of the window here like this. So that's what this little section looks like with the tree attached. So bag 3 is going to give us our 2 remaining characters. And then we'll have 2 bags of no characters. We've been streaming for exactly an hour at this point. So I'd say we're making good progress on this build. So the ghost can't sit because of the ghost cover piece. And it looks like the lady vampire also has a dress piece, which means she can't sit either. So only Frankenstein's monster has to sit because he doesn't have any accessories. It looks like neither of these characters are holding accessories either. So we'll start with the ghost. So this is what the ghost looks like under the sheet. Let's make him look 100 times better right now, shall we? We just take this piece and we slide it over here like this. And now there's our Lego ghost. And according to this picture and the instructions, he glows in the dark. Obviously, we can't test that on camera because, well, you can see we can't make it dark in here. So we just have to take their word for it, and I'll check it out after stream. Alright, Lady Vampire. So Lady Vampire also gets a dress piece. Let's see. A regular smile or over-the-top happy smile with glowing eyes. Well, this is Halloween. And Halloween means we go big. And wow, that hair is wild. Oh, I like her. This is a cool minifigure. This might be my favorite in the set, actually. There's the vampire lady. And that's our character lineup for today. The skeleton and werewolf, Frankenstein monster, ghost, and vampire lady from the haunted house, and our Day of the Dead, guitar couple as well. So that's our figure lineup for tonight. It looks like we're building a new section of the house here, so let me go ahead and take this section of the house and set it aside just off camera so we can focus our space on this new section. And this is bag 3 out of 5. So after this bag, we will take a very quick break. I'm not seeing how the instruction sheet adds up unless the bulk of the build is in bags 4 and 5. Because we're only 40 pages in to almost 200 pages of instructions. And that's after 2 whole numbered bags already. Here's another one of those transparent pieces that's going to be covered over. And we're getting another one of these hinges that looks like it's not going to connect to anything yet. Okay. Yeah, it looks like there's not much going on with this bag at all, so we will break after this bag. That goes there. Yeah, that goes there. Okay. Okay, so looks like this section connects with the other section now. So, how does it doing this? Okay, so the hinge piece from the first section comes into here like this. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. So now we're building up this next little section of the house here, which I think is going to be the main doorway section. Nice use of the telescope piece to be kind of a part of the entryway. Excuse me one moment. They just emailed me back. All right, nothing that needs my immediate attention right now. So let's just keep going. And maybe I'll have an update on this thing tomorrow before the night's out. Preferably not till after stream, but I'll respond to it whenever it comes up, because tomorrow's not that far away at this point. Oh, I just went behind the instructions a little bit. Sorry about that. And there is a printed tile here. This tile is a portrait of the vampire lady. Come on, please focus on this one. This is a cool tile, and they can't see it. Camera, no cooperate. Well, the vampire lady is holding a goblet of blood with a full moon in the background, and there's bats flying in front of the moon. Please, camera. Oh no, okay. Let's just keep going. So this is oriented like this. So the picture is now oriented like this. I think. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like we're building the door now. So that was a correct prediction on my part a little while ago when I said, hey, I think we're doing the door section. I think it shows the orientation being this way. Can I get everything to connect up? Yeah, that's how the door is opening there. door goes right there, with another column on the other side. And the door section is now fairly secure. Let's keep going. It looks like we're going to get one more portrait here. Maybe this one might fare better on camera. I hope so, but I don't think so. Let's see, this portrait. Shadowy haunted house on a hill under the full moon. That one came out a little better, but still not focusing all the way. This is actually kind of a creepy picture a little bit. It fits the mood well. So now I come around to the front and we get some more of these columns. And then it's going to have us open bag 4 when we get back from break. So let's just finish getting this on. We'll take these aside. There's another whole section of the house that's going to connect to this hinge here. And then there's the upper levels as well. There's still a lot of house to go. Let me just take a look at what I've got so far. We've got a good beginnings to the house, but it's not really impressive yet. So we'll put this here, and I will turn the instructions off so we can go on break, and we can go ahead and put the gate in front of the house. So we have a little scenery to look at while I go on break here. Our figure supply, our character collection for today is already done. We just have builds to do at this point. So when I come back from break, we will get on and build up the rest of this house. It doesn't look like much yet, but it will. All right, I'll see you shortly. I'm back, so let's get ready to go into bag 4. Yeah, the audio's working. Sometimes I forget to turn it back on. That's why I check that. And bag 4 is going to be another piece, another section. So I'm going to set the gatehouse off to the side. And since I know it's inevitably going to ask for this construction, I'm just going to set this off in the corner here. And let's not forget to bring the instructions back up. I've done that a few times recently. I just yeeted one of my characters, but they didn't go on the floor. The desk was here to catch it. My desk is just off camera, right at the edge of the table, so the desk caught the character he yeeted, so nothing went on the floor there. So let's see if we can power through the remainder of these instructions and not need another break. We're at the hour-and-a-half mark of stream, so I'm going to estimate 3 hours for tonight because we got 3 numbered bags left to go. But none of these bags have characters, so it shouldn't be too big a deal. This is off to the side until we need it. And this I'll put there because it's in the way. Now let's begin. Yeah, I should, yeah, all right. I was planning to do a Mario Lego stream during the week, but I had some issues this week. I had some computer issues I had to work through. It's fine now. That's no longer a thing. But I also had another poor health week. I do what I can when I can, and that's all I can do. Alright, so now, yeah, it has us attaching this section to this section now, so carefully, how does it show it going? The hinge brick here connects into there, and I will just fold these up kind of out of the way so I can focus on where we're building. And then this will fold in like this to meet the other bit of the house. Okay, and then it clips in like that to secure the back of the house. If you fold it up, that's cool. All right. But for right now, I actually need to focus on this side of the house, so I need to leave it open for a bit. All right, that goes there. And then there's the upper hinge to secure that. All right, so now this goes up here like this. Except I didn't have that piece pushed in all the way, apparently. All right, now that should be secure. And now we're doing another one of these columns. And now it looks like we're doing another window section. Oh, cool. We got another one of those printed boarded window pieces here. And I can almost guarantee it's going to tell us to put this part on, so I'll go ahead and do that anyway. And here's the window section we just put together. And that will fill in pretty much this side here. And now I have to go to the back side where the interior is to start developing this area. The house is coming together nicely. Still got a lot of build left to go. So I'm guessing bags 5 and 6 are going to be the upper floor of the house. Because it looks like bag 4 is going to round out this section here. Okay. According to the inset picture, this looks like it's going to be a clock. There's a tiny little bit of technic here. Looks like this clock is meant to be an action feature of some kind. I'm trying to see what this picture is doing. It's not real clear. Oh, I did that incorrectly. The axle is supposed to go through both bricks, not studded to one of the bricks, like this. Now everything should fit appropriately. Yeah. So now we can keep going with our build. Here's the little swinging hanging bit that I think it's a big tall clocks usually have. I think it's showing to put it on this side, yeah. And then a bracket. Oh, and then there's a printed clock tile. Let's see, does it show the time? Oh, just a couple minutes before midnight. That's the time that's showing on here. So here's the clock. And this little bit on the bottom swings when you turn this bit on the back here. And it shows this attaching to the wall with that bit sticking out. So that's like a secret play feature that you actuate from behind the house. Yeah. And now it's time for one more window. The windows work a lot better on this house than they do on the Mario haunted house. The window pieces in that set were loose. Apparently, it was a manufacturing error with those pieces. Because I've had those same pieces in a couple other sets and they work fine, so. Apparently, it was just a manufacturing error with that run of the pieces for that set. But no loose windows here. Everything seems to be working just fine. Another column. I know the build area is turned away from the camera. You can kind of see what I'm working with, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing, so. Yeah, I put the little pyramid piece there, or a half pyramid piece, I should say. So I just need to put the one over this window. Okay, sorry about that. Another email, but doesn't look like this one. Yeah, it doesn't look like this one will require my attention this time. All right, let's keep going. And I've folded up the house to take up a little bit less space on the table so I can focus on the area I'm actually working on. Let's see. Yeah, that lines up properly. Okay. We're in good position right now. Bag 4 is almost done. Just a little bit left to go on this bag. And we're about at the halfway point of the build, according to page count in the instructions. I had a grip. I don't know why it decided to just slip out of my fingers. It went this way, but I'm not seeing where it landed. Excuse me a moment, because that is an important piece, and we can't go on without it. There it is. Everything's assigned to flop around right now. Please excuse me while I get everything fixed up over here. Okay, we should be good. Okay, now. I've always been a little on the clumsy side. Okay, why is the instructions not responding? Because the keyboard was not live for some reason. Alright, we got there. We fixed it. Alright, we have a little plate extension here. So I guess some extra scenery for this side of the house. I'm just not sure what this might be yet. Oh, wait a minute. I see what parts are left and what shapes they are. I think I have a pretty good idea what this little bit of scenery is. I'll show you what this is after I build it, of course. I need to be able to see what I'm doing, so I can't turn it to you just now. These brown pieces are colored like chocolate. Very relevant for Halloween, but they're not, in this case, they don't represent chocolate. There are some Lego sets where there are very specific brown pieces that do represent chocolate, but this is not one of them. Oh, that's a non-standard technique. Interesting. So it has this wedge this pentagon tile into the hinge plate like this. Wait, did I put that other piece on correctly? Yeah, it shows that's supposed to go there. And then this is supposed to line up with that. Okay, so it's kind of a crooked tombstone grave marker kind of thing going on here. And then next to the gravestone, we're going to put this fairly standard Lego pumpkin. I've had a pumpkin like this in a few sets. But pumpkin is very relevant for Halloween. And it's sitting next to this little grave marker. And now we're getting a second little grave marker. And I'll show you this little cemetery section once I get finished putting it together. I'll turn it around so you can see it, because I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, and then there's also a little, it's the skeleton leg piece, but it's supposed to represent a skeleton's hand reaching out of the ground. Because the little clip is the same shape as a minifigure or skeleton hand, so they use this little foot piece to represent a hand sticking out. Very much a cemetery, haunted cemetery cliche going on here. So let's just finish up dressing up our little cemetery here. And then I'll show you what we got, and we'll keep going. And we get one more little gravestone, it looks like. So let me get all these little bits out of here, and I'll show you this little cemetery. Okay, so we'll turn this around, and there's our little cemetery area. 3 gravestones, a pumpkin, and a skeletal hand reaching out of the ground. We'll set this over here, and we will go on to bag 5. And bag 5, it looks like it's going to start with an assembly. So we'll just leave the house here in the corner. Thank you, random piece, for not going on the floor. So it looks like these last 2 bags are now going to be to start building up the upper level of the house. Here's a quick little recap of the lower level of the house in its closed configuration. There's the little cemetery. There's the front door. There's our haunted tree. And then there's the back side. You can see where the house opens here. You can see the crack. It'll probably hold together better because there'll probably be another clip on the upper level when we get to it. Okay, let's keep going with our build here. My guess is each of the two remaining bags, this one included, represents 1/2 of the upper level. Oh, I forgot a piece. I forgot that piece. There we go. We're back on track. Here's a little bit of corner roofing that we're about to put on to start basing up the second level here. Looks like this corner matches up with this column here, and then the rest sticks out a little bit. So yeah, it lines up perfectly with what's going on up here. And we're going to do a little assembly now. So here's what that corner looks like with the roof attached. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to start working on this little section here. And we just hit the 2-hour mark of stream, so we'll see if my estimate of 3 hours, how accurate that is. We still got quite a bit of build left to do here, I think. This is a substantial parts pile in front of me, and we still got one more bag after this. Okay. Something interesting is going on with this build. I just can't tell what yet. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Are we building a haunted organ? Looks like we might be building a haunted organ. Man, those things are so spooky sounding. One of the most powerful instruments there is. A building has to be purpose built to house an organ. There's nothing quite like them in the world of music. Clever use of the candlestick piece in gold to be the organ's pipes. I'll show you the organ in a moment. Let me finish building up this little section, and then I'll show it to you before I attach it. Given the shaping here, this is part of the lower roof. So, looks like we'll be building a little bit of wall in front of the organ to kind of hide it inside. Okay, these go here. And we also get these candlestick bits, 2 little candlesticks to go next to the organ. So this room really does get the whole spooky vibes going on. Alright, I need to do 1 more candlestick. Oh, they need to be set in against the wall here so that the columns can be placed properly. So yeah, we're building up the interior for the upper level of this first half of the house. And then I'm guessing that the last bag is going to be the interior for the upper level of the other half of the house. So now I gotta turn this around. And I'll show you a close-up of this section when we're done putting it together. We've got some more windowing going on here. So this window goes right in front of the organ. You can see the organ's pipes through the window. That's a cool touch. And it gives this window a little bit of a spooky vibe going on. So here's the outside of the section. You can see the organ's pipes through the window there. And then here's the inside of the section. Spooky little area, but fun. Alright. So this section goes here, over the center of the house. So now if you unclip the back, the roof bits do in fact line up. What just fell? Yeah, a little bit of the haunted tree here fell off. I knew that was a poor connection. I called that early on. But he's fixed now. For now. Alright. So now I gotta keep focusing on this section. Oh no, we're back on this corner now. Okay, this goes back here. We're gonna get several boarded window tiles in this bag. We'll open it back up, I think, at the end when we have room to spread out, when we're not dealing with a parts pile. And a couple more windows. And now an upper hinge to secure, to continue securing the side of the house. I thought I got another email response to that thing, but I don't, so let's keep going. Okay. That goes there. And then this one goes here. And let me just open up the side to make sure everything is still in alignment. Yeah, we're good here. I'm going to leave it slightly open for a little bit, just to make sure we stay in alignment as we build up this little area. what's going on here. This bit here. So yeah, it looks like we're starting to shape the upper tier of the roof here. Did we get an error piece? No, we didn't get an error piece. I used an incorrect piece earlier. How do I fix this? Not without taking the whole damn thing apart. That's... We're mostly back. That wasn't too terrible a fix, but still inconvenient. And this is why you gotta be paying attention and making sure you're doing things correctly the first time. Now I gotta come in here where my fingers don't fit and fix the candlesticks. Alright, the candlesticks are fixed. So now I can come back here and put this piece where it goes correctly. The house does look a little bit awkward with one side of the upper level built up and one side not. But the next bag will resolve that for us. So we have some hanging boards that I have to put on over the windows. And this vine also growing over one of the windows. One window even has two boards on it. That must be that's the window that has nothing going on behind it inside. And now we bring in bag 6. And with bag 6, we will be finishing up the other side of the upper level here. So this is what our house looks like so far. Still quite a bit unfinished look, but we're getting there. Now, in order not to take up too much space, I'm going to close this side for now. This side remains open so I can see what I'm doing against the instructions here. Let's get the last bag out. Bag 6, let's begin. I like the way that this is designed so that the two sides are not exactly the same in shape. The house has a little bit of structural variety going on. It adds to that creepy, strange aesthetic this house has. It looks like from the box art, this side is going to come out looking out like some type of tower. Let's finish getting these last little bits of plastic open. There was another eye tile in there I saw as the parts spilled out. Are we getting a secret character? Not minifigure, but a secret brick built character? I didn't watch any reviews for this set. I watched reviews for the alternate builds because I knew I wouldn't be doing them. But I didn't watch reviews for the main build of the set. So we might see some surprises yet in this last bag. So it shows this plate coming here and lining up with the corner here. Okay, so it looks like this section is not fully secured yet, but that's going to change right here, in this step, in fact. Actually, no, we're not quite securing this bit yet. All right, now that bit is secure. And that's a turntable base, one of the small types of turntable base. Are we going to see some action on this upper level here? All right, so now we get two more windows. right, we got to do another one of those window sections. Okay. This one goes here. And then we get another hinge here. Let me make sure I put that on correctly. Yep. It opens to the correct direction. Actually, because there's another hinge under it, if I didn't put that on correctly, it would have been a locked joint. And that would have been obviously incorrect. So yeah, the roof bits are lining up. And now looks like we're putting together a little gear here. And I just saw a bat in the parts pile. So now we're putting stuff onto a gear. This is probably the action. This is probably going to be the action bit that goes on that turntable base we put in a little while ago. Maybe. I see another gear in the parts pile. I really don't know what to expect. Like I said, I haven't seen a review of this particular build. I watched reviews of the alternate builds because I knew I wouldn't be doing them. Ah, there's a gem. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what the instructions are doing here. So there's a gem on one side. And the other side is a cartoon ghost. I'll show you this little section before I attach it. It's not dynamic yet until I attach it, but it's... So this is a gem on one side and a cartoon ghost on the other side. So I'm guessing the visitor to the house sees the gem, and when they try and grab it, the ghost reveals itself to spook the thief away. So here's the gem side, and here's the ghost. And this goes on the little turntable we put in earlier. So the ghost looks at, with the ghost looking out the window at this time. And now we're building a little section that has the other gear piece from the parts pile. So this must be how you activate this the turn here. So there's actually two ghosts in this model. Alright, where's this other piece? There it is. Okay, so it shows this going on to the side here. So you turn this little wheel here, and if things are set up correctly, which they don't appear to be right now. Alright. So yeah, you can jam the machine if you're not careful. Alright. So you can see as I turn the gear, things rotate around behind the window like that. There's the ghost, and we will display the gem in the window for right now. Time for another window. Okay, what's next? All right. Wow. This house is really this house is really looking good, and it's actually fully realizing its shape now. Just a little bit while longer to go. Okay, let's not forget details. Okay, this one will go here. And another window. I don't see the window. There it is. Now, where's the clear part? There should be one more. There it is. There's that. And now the wall bits that go around the window. Alright, so we're getting towards the top of this house now. Alright. Alright, this one will go here. And then this one will go here. And now we're going to do a little bit of an assembly for a roof section here. Let's make sure we're using the correct pieces on each step. Okay. These tall, steep corners, they're a little hard to see which way they face sometimes. But we're getting there. That's 3 of them. And then I have to align 1 more of those. And then we need the capstone piece, which is this one. And a little bat goes on top. It's unclear whether the bat is meant to be a bat that landed on the roof or whether it's meant to be a statue bat that's an ornament. But the way it's attached here on, I would assume it's meant to be a statue bat that's meant to be an ornament. But given that this is a haunted house, what's to say it's not going to come to life anyway and be a real bat, a living bat? Here is the roof section we just built, bat on top. There, I'm contrasting the bat against my lighter colored skin here so you can see it a little bit better. Obviously, we want the bat facing the front of the house. So that, I think, would be this way. I'm trying to see which way the bat is molded here. I think that's the back. So this goes onto here like this. And now we're just going to keep going on and finish up these last few bits of the roof on this side. Okay. All right, put those bits on. And now we come around, it looks like, and we're going to start working on this. Let me consolidate my parts pile because there's only a little bit left here. And then let's open this up fully so I can focus on what I'm doing here. So it looks like we're going to fill in some of the roof shaping for the front center now. We're coming up to the end here. I think this is the last big section of build here that we're working on here. The last parts pile is quickly dwindling here. So we'll be finishing right at about the 3-hour mark. By the time we pose everything and rate out, we'll probably be just over the 3-hour mark. So now we're filling out the central part of the roof here, and then we will be done. There's a bunch of little detail bits still to fill in, but the roof shaping is pretty much done at this step here. Interesting. So the top of the roof is actually left open. Probably so the organ music can be heard for miles around the house. Yeah, but the roof itself is never actually fully closed here. These last little bits of shaping and detailing here. And then we'll go on to the next page, shows how you can open and close the house. And let me just... And since we're done actually building, I'll take the brick separator. I'll set that aside. We no longer need it tonight. Yeah, and that just shows all the different features. Yeah. We are done with the instructions, so I'll take that off. And let's take a look. So when you close the house, this is what it looks like. It becomes a small, tiny house. You can see there's a front door and not much else substance. But you take it around, turn it around, you can see the cemetery. You can see the house looks like it has a little more substance in the back there with all those windows. And then the haunted tree on this side. Or what you can do is you can take the house and open it up. And now it looks much bigger and much more imposing. But when it's open, you still have your cemetery in the front here, the cemetery. And you have the haunted tree on this side. But with it open up, you can now, if you turn it around, see inside. And you can see the little ghost where his little haunting area. Down here where the hats are stored. The organ. We have the clock down here on this side. And the clock bit turns like that. And you have, of course, the two portraits by the door. And that's the inside of the house. Let's turn it back to the outside of the house and let's make a little scene here. Obviously, you get a little gate. And I got something else special to add to the scene as well. I actually did this off stream. I was planning to build this little thing on stream, but I got too excited and I couldn't stop myself. So I put together this little skeleton chariot. This was many years ago. There was a castle theme called Castle Fantasy Era, which included skeletons and trolls as the bad guys. And there was a polybag of the skeleton chariot that was, for whatever reason, the actual polybag was canceled. But pictures of the instruction sheet got out, and the parts list went around, and I was able to source the parts and build this canceled skeleton chariot polybag. Now I'll show you if I can get this on camera. I have to be really careful because one of the clips on this model is from the brittle brown and from the brittle brown era, specifically one of the dark red clips up here. So it is very fragile. I have to replace that piece, but if I can get a close up, you can see the skeleton face is from Fantasy Era compared with the regular skeleton face, and you can see the fantasy skeleton face is a little bit creepier. They went for an all-out evil look with the Fantasy Era castle skeletons. They tried to make them look as evil as possible while still being cartoony. And that skeleton horse piece is just so cool. They actually used the skeleton horse piece a few years later in Monster Fighters, the theme that Lego fans think this set is a tribute to. The version in Monster Fighters was glow in the dark piece, but this is just the plain white one. This one doesn't glow. So I'll set our little skeleton chariot into the scene here. And you know what? The regular figures, they can just keep their line up. I don't really feel like doing much posing, and you won't be able to see them as well anyway on the camera, so I'll just leave them up front. So we have our Day of the Dead couple here. What I will do is I'll give you one more look at each of them. Here's the Day of the Dead Man. And the Day of the Dead Lady. Again, the two Day of the Dead figures are not part of the set. You can find them limited edition, so you've got to run to your Lego store soon before the end of the month to get your Day of the Dead um, minifigures from Build-A-Minifigure Station. The skeleton. The regular skeleton, I just showed you the fantasy skeleton. Our werewolf. And you know what? We can make him stand because we're about to raid out, so there'll be he can stand for the end of it. Our Frankenstein monster. Our ghost, who apparently is supposed to glow, and I'll be checking that out after stream. I'll take him into a dark room and see if it actually works as advertised. And the vampire lady, probably the mistress of the house here. She's probably the one in charge. Alright, our little skeleton chariot is ready to go. Gatehouse, the cemetery, our little haunted tree. Yeah, this was fun. Let me center this a little bit better now that the instructions are no longer in the way. Man, it blends. I didn't plan well. The house is blending with my top here because of the similar colors. I'll scooch aside and we'll do this. Now it's no longer aligned with the gate and the chariot. I just can't win, can I? But I have to come this way anyway to come over here and set up our raid. So let me see, who are we going to tonight? Oh, Brett is on. You know what that means. But first, let me fix. So, with the house on this side now, I need to move the gate. We'll have the gate here. The gate should be in front of the house like this. And we can have the chariot coming in like this. Better, but still not great. I kind of like the centered pose a little bit better, but it was blending with me. Let's try something around here. And we'll put the chariot on level with the figures, I guess. Because it hasn't come through the gate yet. I guess that's passable. But it's still blending with me, so it's not going to be perfect. I don't want to block the view of the cemetery, though, is the thing. You can do it like that. That's about as good as it's going to be, I think. I do like that bat ornament on top. That's a nice touch. Alright, let's get ready to raid Brett. He's playing a game called Until Dawn. I've never heard of this game before, so let's go see what it's about. Alright, the raid is set up. Have a happy Halloween. I'll see you soon for some more Lego, some more other content. We have our music stream sometime next week, and I will see you soon. Have a good night. Have a spooky rest of your month, and happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Would and because I was gonna like, what was I doing with that? I was gonna router a thing on it. Anyway, point is,
What?
it
Oh,
it
Evie's rating.
it did that. It like little speckle stuck to the board and burned and gave it this like speckly effect, and I hated it. I was like, damn it. Oh hey Evie, what's up? Oh